Hi everyone on YouTube. This is Na again, making another one of my live Come Alive YouTube stream. So usually when you start a live stream, or even beforehand, you should check for three things. Lighting. The only thing I have is my LED lamp. Vintage. I like it. I got it from Echo Town. Because you don't have to replace the light bulbs. The light bulbs, right? If I touch it, they're not hot to touch. I would say it saves electricity. Plus I had two. I bought a more newer one from Target. But the vintage one I like better. I think vintage things tend to be from a long time ago. I think they had more time to reconstruct things a lot better. So the light, as you can see, is very white, whereas the one I got from Target, it was a little bit yellow. And although it was a later version of, it was cute, it was cute in that it was kind of metallic. And just the shape of it was a little bit bigger than this one. But I would have to say, as far as construction, this vintage one is better overall. The Target one, it had more modern stuff, like in the back. There's, a thing where you could put in your wall charger. But yeah, I'm stuck into the American vintage. So three things you guys need to check when you do a live stream. And YouTube has a My Creator Academy, that teaches all of this, which I lost from changing out my Gmail. So I would like to reconnect with that. I know in my previous YouTube channel, YouTube actually sent me an invitation to take that. I think it's because they realized at the time I was a nightmare, honestly, at making live stream. I can joke around about it now, but looking back, unless somebody teaches us, we don't know any better, right? But I used to get really offended if, people exercise their right to not like my channel. And, I would tell them, get the hell off of my channel. Don't come back. Things that I don't like. I wasn't very flexible in terms of just being friendly to people. Like, I think I allow like 2 people in my live chat. But both of the conversation I didn't really care for. But I think if you are going to go further with YouTube live stream, you need to be more flexible, right? So, like, I remember one guy, he really liked my previous channel. But he commented a lot in the live chat, like it was like Messenger, like Facebook Messenger. And I didn't like that when I was doing a live stream. And plus I noticed he went off into left field. I think he thought my channel was like to promote like not Trump, Donald Trump. So yeah, I didn't like that. And other than that, he didn't do anything wrong. So I felt like I was being too firm on him. And then another incident was, I guess, a friend of my friend, Captain James Van Talk. So I don't know how she found my channel. Honestly, I think she's kind of stalking me and my friend James. Where, she I don't know how she found out. Like, I'm connected to my friend, Captain James Van Talk. So if you guys don't know, he's a very good injured Army veteran that I met. So if he's listening to this, he's going to find this very funny. The first time I saw him on Facebook, um, and he was talking about scams, right? I was just scammed, like all of my rent money. So I was like, who's this scammer, right? And then when I clicked on the video, a lot of people liked his videos. So I was thinking, he's a scammer. Why does all these people like him, right? Um, and apparently watching the video, he fights scams because his photos are used to promote scams. But then, there's a simple solution to that, folks, on Facebook. All you have to do is go into your security settings and don't allow people, right, to share like your posts. And if you don't want them to download your photos, then just make it only available to friends. So there are options. You just go into Facebook security and adjust it accordingly. But for the most part, I think the Facebook app is a problem. Let's just put it that way. So that's how we met. And I guess she lives next to him in Florida and they know each other. But I don't know. Ever since then, I just noticed she would just always, it was as if she was stalking my Facebook, like the photos that I would post. She would say she likes it. No threat or anything. She's nice, but I thought it was kind of strange. And then, she would try to get me involved with her, whatever, with James. And, it's like, they're both two adults, like, work it out, right? And she was saying things about James, like, behind his back. And James, my friend, and I didn't care to hear it, James, if you guys don't know him, he has a big heart. His Facebook fan page, he pretty much, hey, monkeys. Hold on one second. Damete monkeys. Damete monkeys. You don't want to spray that water, do you? Damete monkeys. You're gonna make the seal hiss. You're stressing her out. So yes, I was going to show you guys my new outfit today. It's like animal with this, and with this, if you don't like it that long, you can always, adjust it, the length, or even like alter the shape of it where it might drop like a V, V like this, just to give your body more shape. I tried to be creative and tie like a little knot. Didn't work. So usually when things don't work and I try it over and over, I leave it alone. So this is my outfit, and yes, I'm still wearing it with my army pants. My army pants. Oh, I was going to say my army pants. These are my army pants that I wore. And they look really good. They look really good with the scratches that the kitties gave me. Can you guys see? I really like them. You guys see? They're really nice. So yes, that's normally I'm not into pants like this. It's ripped. Um, but I needed new pants. These are pants, you know, unless I want to walk around naked, right? So I was like, what the hell? And I tried them. I really like them. I'm not into skinny jeans. I'm not into tight ripped, but I like it. And I like this shirt. It's cool weather. So, anyways, in a nutshell, that's how we met. Um, no relationship is perfect. James is still a respected friend. And what I don't like is that I don't think he knows how to handle women. And, a lot of them reach out to me and, right, try to get me involved. And, like, I don't want to hear it. All right. You guys are all adults. You want to be together. You don't want to be together. You're undecisive. That's on you. Don't reach out and contact me, because that's what they did, like my first semester of school. And it kind of ruined, like you're trying to concentrate in school, not relationship problems. That I think she's kind of strange and two-faced and a little annoying. And she was talking bad things about James, and I don't care to repeat it. Um, a lot of times she would, she knows James and I are just friends, and she would say, yeah, I would never fall for him. That's nice, right? Why are you telling me about it 101 times, right? And, apparently she has like jealousy issues with other girls that likes James too. And then she would talk to me about it. This is like a year after the fact, right? A year after the fact. I don't want to hear it. Like I said, we're all on social media, but we're nobody's social worker. And I'm not Dr. Ruth, okay? You have any relationship problems, say sex problem, I'm not the go-to person for that. So I got back on today. I'm enjoying my echinacea tea because it's supposed to boost your immune system with my stevia. And I never go waste the tea bags anymore. I always do my tea bag treatments. The tea bag treatment works, folks. I don't know if you've seen my previous videos where I talked about it, but it literally works. Because essentially what it does is it works, right? And this is something other people will try to hide, because they're not going to make a sale, right? If you have like a tea bag treatment, right, for dental problem, how are the dentists going to make money? How are people who, right, make toothpaste and toothbrushes and stuff going to make money? And all you have to do is just bite on a tea bag. It works. So it works so good. Essentially what it does is it replaces the cotton gauze. So you can use it even if you didn't go to the dentist and you're not bleeding out. Essentially what it does, you bite on it and it releases, right, it's very antiseptic. That means it cleans. And what it does is it will clean out your saliva and all the stuff, right, in your saliva and essentially your face. And I've seen it actually work before my eyes. It works, and it still works. Like I said before, I have one case of salivary gland infection, and usually it's right here. just kind of below your ears. If you draw a line below your ears and then draw an L under your chin, it's right here. And I had to go to the emergency room because when you have it, depending on each individual's case, it was kind of painful, and I was kind of going deaf in one ear. So simple thing is just to give you antibiotic. But tea tree. So essentially tea tree, it will soak up your saliva and all the stuff in your system, deep in your face and your system that needs to come out. It just simply works. That's all you guys need to know. I tried it, and before I had a big salivary gland, and for the most part, if I do this, you guys see I still do here and here. But it was really big, and I thought, maybe that's just me, because I've had dental surgery. I've had, 8 teeth pulled out from my braces. So 4 wisdom, 4 in the front, and I was sedated. So I thought, maybe that's just my face after dental surgery and, wearing, braces and stuff, the after effect. But no, it is clogged, salivary gland, and it will start to bulge here. This side was always bigger than this side. So I essentially, in the back, right, what I do is I push the tea bag in the back of my teeth. And part of my channel is giving hardcore health, beauty, right, natural remedies. So you guys should appreciate this because it really works. And I go into more details of why it really works than I feel most YouTubes or, videos on Facebook and elsewhere. So you just, essentially, you are just kind of pretend it's a gauze for the dentist, but make the most out of it, right? And be smart about it. Just like when they tell you to floss your teeth, you before you move to the next teeth, kind of wipe it down with a tissue paper. Because then you're transferring dirty floss to one area to the next and kind of infecting your whole face, right? So what I do is, of course, after I drink my tea, make it a ritual. Could be clean and holy. Because when I hear ritual, I think witches. Now this is different. So what you're going to do, first and foremost, when you do this, right now it's cold, so it's hard for me to do it. But if you could do it like hot salted water, or like warm tea, just kind of, gargle your mouth out. It's great. It's great. Your teeth might be a little bit tea stained, but as far as it cleaning out your mouth, it's great. Like you can really feel a lot of stuff was like removed. So what you're going to do, you're going to finish your tea, right? Hot tea, preferably no sugar because it's a treatment. And then if you can't handle that, just put in like a pack or 2 of stevia. I limit my intake like 2 because stevia just tends to be lighter. So I'll do like 2 stevia for tea, 3 for coffee. And that's it. Because diabetes, people can die from it and it's nasty. So what you're going to do, you're going to finish your tea, preferably hot tea with no sugar. After you're done, do not, let anything go to waste. God doesn't like that, right? You're going to take the tea tree bag and squeeze the excess, um, right? Because you want it to make room to soak your saliva and whatever is in your saliva mouth in your system that needs to be pulled out. Because a tea bag is not as strong as a gauze, right? It'll break. Um, just place it all the way in the back of your mouth, okay? And you don't even have to bite. You do have to bite on a gauze, at the dentist, because putting pressure stops bleeding, but this is different. So try to be smarter with your beauty regimen and health and beauty, I firmly believe and base my beauty on health. And, I like the natural look. Um, just put it back there and let it just naturally do its thing, right? The work in with your saliva, stuff in your saliva, stuff in your face, in your system, and you'll remove all of it. So I always, as best as I can, put it back there, right? And then you can also put it on the side of your face, like here, put it here on your upper and lower, right? So it's back, upper, lower, right? And in the front and the back, I usually take the tea bag and I kind of wipe down my teeth with it in the back and the front. And I can tell you, this actually works beyond what most dentists know. Because long time ago, because my body is so, I can't handle any form of filth. Long time ago, my dentist in Anaheim, Dr. Lin, he's a Chinese Christian, very nice. He goes to my friend's church, The Rock. And although I don't go to him anymore, I go to 7-Day Dental because they handle emergency. He's really good. But I presented him a problem long time ago. I've known Dr. Lin in my 30s, now I'm 50, where there was right underneath my tongue, there was a bubble, like a blister, and it would break, right? And then it would blister up again and get bigger. So it was like right under my tongue. And I remember speaking to him about it. He didn't know. Now I know. Because all of us, our mouths need to be clean, and there's a lot of dirty threats, right? Putting things in your mouth and what you eat. And I wasn't doing the tea bag treatment. So apparently, right under my tongue here, it had like a little sac of infection, right? So make it clean being your lifestyle. Especially right now, folks, I could tell you this coronavirus pandemic, even though people know being clean, right, safety distance, washing your hand, wearing a mask is going to possibly save their life, I could tell you people are not doing it. And, people are getting dirtier and dirtier and dirtier and at their worst. I think is the fact that the situation, so you do have a lot of homeless, a lot of transients. If they were not forced out like at Mary's Kitchen, it is a mess. They get free food. They throw it all up and down the street. They get donations all up and down the street. My area, the South Coast Metro area, has turned into like a homeless, where we've had bus bench removed because they're sleeping on it. I walk down the street, they're laying on the floor, and that's, it's a problem. There is a video how it's such a problem in Los Angeles that the homeless issue is might pose a health, because I told you my dad was the head of the health department, right? That they said the homeless, it is their right. If the issue is not attacked at all angles, homelessness is going to create new human diseases. And the pastor that was working that area stepped on some water that was in question, because homeless people urinate and defecate out in public. And guess what? He had flesh eating bacteria from it, and he lost one of his legs. So, I always tell people, especially at Mary's Kitchen, I don't volunteer in there anymore. If you ever out and about in those kind of places, definitely wear closed toes, right? And don't step anything, stay away from puddles of water and stepping into anything you don't know, knowing that the homeless, right, do that. A lot of them share needles and, right, they have skin contagions, and some of them might have bloodborne, AIDS and stuff like that. So you guys gotta be very careful. That is, 27 minutes, my hardcore, health, beauty related, right? I know it's very hard, to be clean in a world of filth. I don't think me being germophobic is actually phobic. And then, you hear about kids who are like, have to live in a medical bubble. I don't think they're the problem. I think the filth and the worst ongoing filth of the world is the problem. So much a problem that I will end on a final note before I jump into what we will be discussing within an hour. I saw a while back a video, and it really broke my heart. It was of a well, and apparently she was just swimming in the ocean, holding on to her baby that she just born that died. Why? Human pollution. All the waste. Sometimes we don't realize where all of our shit goes. It goes into the ocean. We killed her baby. But the video was sad because she just born it and she was swimming holding it around the ocean. Right? And whales, they cry. And you can hear their cries for miles and miles and miles. Very sad. Very sad. And that's why picking back off on my last video is very important. We touch base with our feelings again. Because when you touch base with your feelings again, you're going to discover the most wonderful thing. That's you. The hell with trying to impress everyone else, right? So that's what I want to talk about. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is the case of Quibi. He's a gorilla, right? That I know he made me cry with his reunion, with his caretaker. because how they were saying it's not a good idea, right? Because maybe can kill him, right? But I think Queeby killed all of us in that he made us be primal again and feel. And I think the part that really tugged at my heart was when he was following his caretaker. That really tugged at my heart because it was like it was like him saying, you know, but for one, he appreciated the caretaker being his dad, right? But it was like when he followed the boat, and the way he followed it, it was more. I think that's what got to hit me right here. It was more than what most humans can do, right, folks? Yeah. Every time I watch the video about Queeby, I'm always like crying. And that goes to my next subject about Queeby. There's Queeby and then there's Coco. She's another gorilla that was perhaps more famous than Queeby. Why? Because she was rejected by her mother upon birth. But she was famous, guess what? For doing otherwise, for accepting pretty much everybody. And being able to speak American Sign Language and draw and do things for the most part what most humans are not capable of doing, right? Accepting all. But these two gorillas, both of them had caretakers. And that was what I wanted to talk about, parenting, right? In the politest sense. And my personal story, um, and other, to protect other people too. Um, when I was born, my dad was not there. Okay. And then I heard rumors. My family makes up stories. I don't even care anymore. Um, how he thought I wasn't his child. You know, and then when he was there, he abused me. Mentally and physically. Made me feel that I wasn't part of them in the most hurtful way that you can do to anybody. He used to, I guess maybe you're a kid too, he used to, like they would have dinner, but I couldn't eat, you know? And you know what? People don't even deprive that of dogs, right? But that was the way he was. And he used to make me, while they eat, I couldn't eat. And I had to kneel in a corner of a room, right? Bow down to their They're fucking Asian Buddhist asses to this very day. This era. So now you guys know why I hate Asians, right? Now you know. If somebody just hates somebody for no reason, I would say, yeah, that's bias. But if you're somebody like me and I'm telling you, well, these are my reasons, then you're like, oh, now I get it, right? So he used to do that. And I remember, he was like a Vietnamese racist against Americans. And I'm thinking, then why the fuck are you here in this country? Right? And I remember when I lived in Lubbock, Texas, it wasn't a gated community, but our community was exclusive. If you look up Lubbock, Texas, and my friend at the time, Sherry, we, you know, after Christmas, I went to her house and played. And, when I came home, he didn't like it. And he made every excuse like them to this day to pull their shit. He whipped me with a belt. And in Texas, they do allow you to spank kids and even parents to give principals and teachers permission. But if you're leaving marks on a child, that's not spanking, that's abuse, which is what he did. He loved it. He loved people who are miserable. They love making other people feel miserable. And they will make up any excuses, right? How did the mom and dad and sisters and brothers and families and relatives, right? We hang around your family and on and on and on the bullshit goes. I remember, most of the time I don't remember him. But when he was there, what I remember wasn't good. I remember, I think like prior Lubbock, Texas, I lived in another city, and in kindergarten, I think I was trying to like practice my English and use like slangs, like, oh, I'm so hungry, you know. So he took it literally, and he decided, and this is going to make my boyfriend mad. My boyfriend's Italian and Lady Gaga. So now I've got my boyfriend and Lady Gaga. I was practicing, how you're like in California, that's killer. Like you're trying to practice your English and, little language stuff that each state says, right? So I was like, I'm so hungry. Like I can eat everything. And he literally took it figuratively. And he cooked a huge pizza. And keep in mind, I'm only in kindergarten. I'm just tiny, right? And he cooked a whole big pizza. And he told me, eat it. You're hungry, right? And then he forced me to eat all of it, even though I was full. This is how sick their family is. And that's why I say it like that, because I don't want to have anything to do with them. Not to mention their mom was going to adopt me out to her sister, who was a fat slob that snored a lot, and she passed away. And, he, their dad ended up remarrying. I didn't even fucking know about it. That's the kind of Asian women. And this one here, she's here every day to give me shit, right? And even today, she was saying, I'm your mom. And I told her, I said, no, you're not. No, you're not. Okay, and I won't expand on that. Other than the fact that she wanted to adopt me out. And, growing up in abuse, she witnessed it. She never did anything to stop it. And then after she divorced my dad, she invited other men to come and abuse the situation. And my siblings' previous dogs were involved. Yeah, no. You're you're not a fucking mom, okay? Don't say that. Let's get real here. I was talking about touching base with feelings. Well, let's open a real fucking open and honest discussion. How many of us have parents, right? They call themselves mom and dad, and you're like, they're far from that, right? So just growing up, he refused to pay child support. And the little money that she got, she never spent it on me, not a dime. Um, so I grew up till this day without. And, um, I remember worst case scenario, and she's crazy. I remember worst case scenario one night, she literally cooked a pot of mashed potatoes. And, so I was like, what's for dinner, right? Because I'm a dependent. She was like, here, this is dinner, mashed potatoes. And I can tell you, that's not a mom. Donati, can you please? He's getting a lot more agile. He's just all over the place. One of my earbuds was missing. This is expensive. I cannot have that. So that's not a mom. You know, um, you know, I volunteered for the Vineyard, which is like one of the largest food banks. And, I grew up where there was no food. They were talking about starving me. They use food and money as a power thing. And they're psycho. If I get anything from food banks, they'll say, oh, don't get that, right? Don't get that. There's no food. There's no food at home. Refrigerator's empty. Not to mention her and my other sister are anorexic. God forbid, you don't want to go to food banks, right? And going to food banks exerts a lot of energy, right? You gotta go there, give you a bunch, you gotta carry it, and then you go home, and the refrigerator is empty, and these psychotic people are saying, why'd you go to a food bank? It's like, why don't you shut the fuck up? Mind your own goddamn business from now on. Yeah, and if I buy anything from the store, why'd you buy that? Why can't you return it? Crazy, crazy. So I do it because sometimes there's no food in the refrigerator, right? And then after they bitch and fucking whine and complain, think they're too good. And she even told me, she says, I'm too good to eat free food. And guess what she does? She goes eat the free food that I work to get. At a certain point, you know how somebody's got the COVID, who are the fucked up people in your life, right? It is where now I just accept it. What I don't accept is for them to continue to bother me the rest of my life. I'm 50 years old, and I don't want them to continue to do that. And today, she was telling me, oh, did you see a picture of your aunt? Like, why would you say she's my aunt? Like, was she recently played a part in being my aunt? No, no. And that's what I want to touch base on, based on the Bible. Okay. And I will correlate it into modern day. Jesus said, who is your real father and mother? I can tell you who mine is. America. The system essentially picked up that they're very sick and took over. And the United States has been taking care of me ever since I stepped foot here. They don't do shit but give shit. The government pays for my school, right? Um, they gave me HUD. They give me money to stay here until I find a better place. They're funding Department of Rehabilitation so I can go back to work. It's the United States. It's the United States. They're my parents. Just like Quibi, I'm trying to reach a point because children who are abandoned or neglected or abused, they tend to be like me where they are delayed. And that's one reason why I'm 50 years old and I'm in school. But I'm a fighter, I'm a survivor, and I fight back. I presented cases in either other videos on my last channel where kids are so severely abused that they're broken. They don't come back, right? But there is proof that parental neglect, upbringing, and stuff, all that can delay a child, if not destroy the child. America. Just like Quibi, how he recognized his caretaker as his dad. America are my parents. Literally, the system. And the funny thing, when I got off of Facebook, there was a Vietnamese guy targeting We Are San PD. I fired back. I said, yeah. And I said, who is commenting on whose page? You are, right? You don't see Santa MPD care comment on your page with like 2 or 3, fake nose Vietnamese bitches trying to be white. I said, who's the real terrorist here? And then he fired back at me. He said that I was G.I. Joe born. And I'm like, that's fucking right. That is so fucking right, asshole. How many soldiers died in the Vietnam War to get me here? You are so fucking right. And you know what? I embody their spirit. And I will continue to finish the fight. You are so fucking right. I'm GI fucking born. So if you guys don't know, I came here from the United States and Little Rock, Arkansas. Why Little Rock, Arkansas? Because Camp Pendleton was full of Vietnamese people. So we were taken in the Chinook to Little Rock, Arkansas, Camp Portafigue, which is now closed down. And I lived on the U.S. Army military base. So my friend James, he's going to be interested in hearing that because he loves Army. And those were the good old golden days. I remember, to me, I thought it was just fun and games. I didn't know so many people died on both sides, how horrific and stuff. To me, I just thought it was some kind of a game. I do remember when I came to the United States, because it was an evacuation and the military base wasn't really prepared. I do remember it was an African American soldier, and my friend James, his dad is Black. He was Vietnam, Korean kind of stuff. And I do remember he gave me an Army blanket. Right? We all love that kind of shit, don't we? And he, I do remember as far as him making me sleep on one of the Army desks as a bed, because they couldn't come up with a bed for me. I do remember that. And, he was like, "This is your bed." And I was so tired. I was like, okay. So I get it. I get people have a hard life. They're homeless. They just sleep wherever, right? I get it. I do remember Christmas, how all the men um, try to come up with a Christmas present for me, right? And they got me a little princess shoe because I was walking around barefooted and in my underwears. I've always been a little bit of an exhibitionist. You can ask my boyfriend. I do remember that. I do remember waking up, with the army call and just watching them run around, just in their army pants. And it was wonderful watching that, you know. And I think that is what I identify with and what I'm attracted to. Recently, I told somebody that just like transgender, they might identify with a sex as opposite. And yes, I come from Asia, right? But I'm attracted to American men. I don't have any explanation for it. I think Asian men are butt ugly. So, and that's pretty much. And then McDonald's is something you guys don't know, but you guys know as business, McDonald's, right? Like YouTube, it's right international, but also McDonald's got a heart. They were the one who served. If you guys don't know, I'm filling in the blanks. You're not gonna hear or read about on Times Magazine, right? I'm filling in the blanks for you. So this is a goodie. Um, McDonald's. They were the ones who provided breakfast for me and the refugees. Because when you're talking about emergency evacuation out of Vietnam War and Chinooks, these military bases are not prepared, right, to house people and feed them. McDonald's, they every morning, right, McDonald's scrambled eggs, right? So, these are the things that I identify with, right, folks? Right? America, hot American men, and hamburgers. They are my parents. They are my parents. Yeah, they are my parents. Nobody takes care of me. And I tell my agency, I think the misconception that if you have a child like me that is in a family and they have money, right, that they are somehow going to support you. No, no. My dad refused to pay child support, even though it's a deadbeat dad. When he started making money, working, with his new wife at a pharmacy or IRS, never, never. At the end of his life, he did buy me a car, so I could drive around. And then my sister ended up taking it away. So essentially, what I'm trying to say, they don't do shit for me. The Vietnamese, the Asians, except give me shit, right? Get real here. Get fucking real here. Don't call yourself a mother, right? And not only I don't want her as a mother, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people would not consider, right? When I was younger, I grew up in Garden Grove, and I used to have like the cutest Garden Grove kids come over. at 55 minutes, so I might run over. But I have a lot to say about this issue. I have the cutest little kids come over, and I remember, I'm going to say her name, hashtag Nicole, Nicole Porter. She was the cutest little blonde. Go outside, Cito. Want to go outside? Oh, okay. You stay inside until you calm down. I figure out why the Cito's hissing. Um, because I researched Google article. If you hear outside there's like noise, they've been doing a lot of constructions, and that can get your cat to hiss. And plus, previous when Besitos hiss, I would hiss back, and they said don't do that. Um, and also stress. You hear her? Stress from the babies and the chocolate kitty. The chocolate one back there that's kind of bullies her. Um, and then, recently she had diarrhea, so she wasn't feeling good. Not that she was injured, but she wasn't feeling good. But essentially, Google said, don't worry about it. Right? It's not like you have to give your cat away. Just like anybody when they're in a bad mood, just give her space. But last night I let her out, and she was pretty much out all night. And I was a little concerned, but the next morning she came back. So I know Besito loves me, but still, I don't like it. I don't like it when she hisses at me. So, anyways, I was gonna say like Queeby, he knows who his dad is, right? Even after 5 years later, I know who my parents are. That's America. I don't address anybody else as my parents, but the United States. um, it is what it is. And that's why the Bible said, who is your real mother and father? Right? Who are your real mother and father? Queeby, they don't even know who his mom and dad is. So he identified, that guy 5 years later. It's like, that's my dad, right? So that's what I wanted to touch base on. And I think blow that out of the waters, right? Because, the Bible and Jesus made it possible for the body of Christ, right? And pretty much for you to say, my brothers and sisters in Christ, right? The family of God. I want to stop there. If you are like me and a lot of other people in the United States, right? And you have a dysfunctional family, or, you never had a family, well, guess what? There's God's family. Yeah, she's growling, like staring outside the window, so it's not me. It's the construction noise that's still going on, which I find strange in Santa Ana. I don't know if anybody lives in Santa. They're always like, they're fixing the streets. Like, when are you going to get done fixing the street? Cito, be nice. You can hiss, but I don't want you doing that. I let her hiss, but she better draw the line in the sand. Cita's knows I'm going to let her hiss and let out her frustration, but you better cool it when I tell you to. I think it's kind of cute. I love Cito, and she's just so darn cute to me that Everything she does is cute. Like her hissing at me is cute. I have I have literally, if you could see my arms up close, I look like a scratcher. Somebody who cuts, you guys can see up that close. All these white marks that have gone away on my arms, that's Cito. They're all over my chest, like that's the Cito's. How much I love her. Her hiss is cute. Her bite, her scratch is cute. Um, Everything's cute about her. I love Besitos. That's probably why I don't like her hissing at me right now. I know she's letting out whatever, but touching base on what the Bible said, who is your real mother and father? Right? God's family. And Abba, spiritual father of everything. There is a reason why the Bible says, emphasize, take care of the orphans and widows. Because if you look on YouTube, the crisis of orphans is overwhelming. Okay? So there's a common theme here, right? Is somebody that allows their child to be an orphan deserve to be called a mother or father or family or relative or anything? No. How about abortion? Whether you believe in that or not, right? A child has been terminated. Does that person deserve to be called a mother? In my opinion, no. Because I base it off of, I know what it takes to be a mother. I let Besitos growing up, whether she was teething or playing or in a bad mood right now, I let her scratch me till I bled out. I let her bite me, even though it hurts. Every day since the day she was born, I've taken care of this girl, wiped her butt, make sure she has food and love. I know what it takes to be a mother and the challenges, making sure her water's clean, making sure right now that I give her food that doesn't upset her stomach and give her diarrhea. Right? My house, making it for her. A lot of the stuff on the shelf is for her. It's a lot of stuff on the shelf. You don't see my stuff. I put blankets up there, and that's where she sleeps next to me. And loving her. Even though she's having a hard day, I can tell you Besitos will never hate me. She will never hate me. Because when I let her out as a baby at an hour, I was a little concerned. Like all of us, I said if I let her out and she decides to leave and not come back, Cetos, be nice. Baby, calm down. I'm trying to talk to her to calm her down instead of, mimic her behavior. Can you guys hear there's like a buzzing construction noise out there? That's really, I heard that really makes cats like Besito be paranoid, hiss. Cito, it's okay, baby. It's okay, Cito. Tito, it's okay. Oh, another thing Google brought up too, that um, when they're asking for if a cat hiss, it might be you're petting them too much. So just kind of back off. Oh, stop. Be nice, Cito. Be nice to mommy and have a lot of patience. Every time she passed by me, she's like giving me the nastiest look. Cito, you better stop. That's another thing the article brought up. Like, even though she's acting inappropriate, they said don't spank her. Don't spank her because, she's not the issue. Something, right? Something's out there bothering her. So those are some of the Q&A, right? You hear so many times mothers that Munchausen syndromes, they hurt their kids, make their kids sick. To me, that's not a mother. Okay, I know there's Munchausen syndrome, and they use that mother as an excuse to make their child like sick for mental reasons. But to me, you're not a mother. How about cases of murder, right? Where a mother wants to just kill her babies. Should she be called a mother? Not in my book. Not in my book. So essentially what Jesus is saying, who really is your mother and father? Right? It's not your actual family, it's God's family. And people who actually plays out the role and deserves to be called that. That's why, a lot of times families adopt kids and it's a great situation and the child loves it. The child calls the new person mom or dad. They love it. And actually, there was a part of me when I was young, I wished like I was adopted out. You know, my life would have turned out different. Let's put it that way. Um, so that's what I wanted to touch base on and ask you guys what you think of it, right? So, America, the United States, are my parents, right? And I make that very clear. Okay, nobody can come along. That's one thing I don't like. Um, Women who are monsters, declaring their mothers, right? No, no, right? Yeah, no, I don't want it. And I think as far as like the Asian community and the Vietnamese, we need to remind them that we have choices in life. All right. And I know it could be social, culturally rude, but yeah, no, you can refuse that just as you can reject a friend. And like I said on Facebook, and I say here, you know, I said, your friend, and this is a problem on Facebook. You get a friend request from some unknown and you just easily accept it, right? That's bad. That is equivalent to letting security guards slash officers kind of somehow, right, associate with real law enforcement. It's not good because you're thinking to yourself, what did you do to deserve to be my friend, to earn the badge, right? Do you call me? Do you Gmail me? Do you come visit? What do we do together? Right? For you to qualify and for me to honor you, to call you a friend. I can tell you in my lifetime, most of my friends are for shits, right? And honestly, I would rather be by myself than, right, a bunch of shitty people on Facebook, which is essentially the complaint. You know, it's just a platform of weird, community. So that's what I want to touch base on. Now I'm going to touch base on the third thing, which is very interesting. Yesterday, I was asking you guys, how would you define feelings? And I said, it's essentially just be alive. And I came across a Bible verse today and support that you guys gonna love it. And you guys can go do your own research into it. First and foremost, the YouVersion Bible app is great. And right now they're doing countdown because it's almost reached 500,000. So if you need a word of encouragement, I would highly suggest you guys to set up the YouVersion. Okay. And this is, I guess, their saying for the day. And I will show you the beautiful visual because, sometimes we need that, right? It's the light. It's hard to see it. So it says here, I am the Rex. Sorry about the noise in the background. Here we go again. Yabba dabba 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 about nothing. So it says here, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live. Okay? The one, remember I said stay alive? Well, who helps you be alive? It's saying that Jesus is. It says, the one who believes in me will live even though they die. Okay, I am going to say that again. Okay, the one who believes in me will live even though they die. Okay, what does Jesus mean by that? Well, let's relate it to the coronavirus pandemic. For all the people who are believers in Christ and they have died from the virus, God's going to resurrect them, right? And if you don't want to believe that, it's still going to happen. You think of in terms of nature, the flowers, in the snow, they hide under the snow and they go through kind of like a hibernation. And then the spring is beautiful. Everything comes out, right? Easter. And then it goes on to saying, and, okay, whoever lives by believing. I'm going to say it again 3 times, right? Whoever lives, it's by believing. Whoever lives by believing in me will never die. So not only he's saying they will live, they will be resurrected, even though they die. And Jesus is saying once they're resurrected, they will never die. Right? And I want you to hold to that thought because I have a support for that. Will never die. Do you believe this? John 11, 25, 26. Okay? So here, I will provide support for that. Okay? Padre Pio. Okay? He's going to support that is very much real. His date of birth, his date of death was September 23rd, 1968. So 69, 70, 71. So that was like 3 years before my birth. All right. And it went on to say Padre Pio died on September 23rd, 1968. His funeral was attended by over 100,000 people. Pope John Paul II recognized Padre Pio as a saint on June 16, 2002. His feast day is September 23rd. Okay? I did some math. I will show you my math because I'm a math nerd, and more so with my second class of statistics and probability. And essentially, statistics and probability is a mathematical way of looking at what's called data set to come to the correct and more intelligent conclusions to things. Okay, 1 plus 1 is not 3, right? So that's the same thing with thinking. Like, why are we thinking what we're thinking? Statistics and probability essentially shows you that there's a lot more to thinking in relationship to math than we are aware of. And it's not so much like hard math, it is needed. And I think that's why a lot of people like statistics and probability. I know I do, and I love my teacher. She's Professor Raquel Liu, and she doesn't have a PhD, but who cares, right? She covers everything, and she's very clear with her teaching. So I did my math, and as you can see, if you guys are some math nerds out there, why I did it. So I took this year, 2021, minus the year he died. That was about 53 years ago, folks. And this is how he looks still. Okay. Padre Pio, age of death, 81. Okay. So I did another math. Math nerds out there, explain why I did this one. I took 81 plus 53, right? Cito, are you right? You're right, baby. So I took his age and I added 53. Why did I do that? Because it will tell you his age right now, today. He's 134 years old. Math don't lie, folks. This is a more up close look at him. You guys see that? Now I'm going to interject there that they did say something about how, I Googled, maybe he's not aging due to the balming process, because I'm into forensic pathology. And the only two things that they said was that they did put a wax on his face, all right? And a little bit of helping his body, okay? Now, if you guys know anything about this kind of stuff, that's not formaldehyde. Formaldehyde actually preserves. And honestly, if you guys know out there, I would have to research more how a dead body, right, is actually preserved. But, okay, even the most skilled embalmer, I've never seen anything like this. And this, they said that they put a wax over his face. Not that he is a wax, like, right, a wax of Padre Pio. This is him. I've never seen something like this. Never. It's as if he is just sleeping. Um, and I know he's in the catacombs of Italy, and they did say that they put him in a special chamber, right? But even then, he is not decomposing as somebody who should be 153 years old. And other people agreed to it. It says it's an actual miracle, to say the least. Padre Pio's body is free from corruption, or otherwise known as the incorruptible, people who are stigmatic. And I told my boyfriend today there are two types of stigmata, and I will post videos about it because it's very interesting. There is the visible stigmata, like him, and there's the invisible, which is, you don't really find a lot out there of that. But essentially, invisible stigmata, it is also a mark, right? But emotional, where you are essentially if physical stigmata is the piercings of the hands, right, the feet, and the bleeding from the forehead, from the crown, then the invisible is like an emotional, like you emotional, right, affliction of feeling like what Christ feels. Why? To prove Romans 12:2, right? If you're probably right now in your mind thinking, oh, that's impossible, you might want to remember Romans 12:2. With God, all things are possible. That's why. Who is your real father or mother? But more so, do you know, even if you don't have a real father or mother, God is it. God is everything. And although God will end everything that is bad, there is no conclusion to how much He cares. Every day, remind yourself in life, right? God cares about you. Give it to God. Today I got to see two other movies about Texas Chainsaw Massacre because I'm from Texas, so I enjoyed that. I enjoy just taking a break from school, you know, and just rest, right? What I'm trying to say, be practical. Every day, if you've had a bad day, take time out, take out a notebook, right? And said, well, this is good happened today, and this is good happened today, and this is good happened today. At least three things. And you know what? Give it to God. For me, I stayed home today, but I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre for free on Peacock app. So I appreciate that. Um, just appreciate just having rest and things going my way until I have more like psychology work to do and the next discussion board, which I'm really enjoying and presenting it here. Yeah, just like that. Just three things. And I'm pretty sure there's more. So with that said, I will end it here in 3 minutes. God is saying you can call him you can call him Dad, Abba. Who is your real father and mother? And I will say again, for me, it's America, the United States of America, a country that is based on Christianity. So with that said, in 2 minutes, I will annotate all of that. And yeah, don't let, trying to keep an eye on the mosquitoes. Don't let, people make excuses. I'm your mother, right? Right? Don't let them do that. Cito, baby, Cito, I don't want you scratching the window, baby. Don't scratch the kitchen window, please. What, baby? What? What? What's wrong, baby? You want to go out play? You want to go out play? Hmm? If I let you out, you're going to be nice to me? Hmm? You want me to let you out play? I let you out play, you're going to be nice to me? Hmm? You're going to be nice to mommy? Hmm? If I let you out, you're going to be nice to me? Cito, I don't like the way you're hissing at mommy. I'm gonna laugh at you, Cito. How's that? Cito. Cito. Cito, you wanna go outside play? Calm down, baby girl. Don't hit the mommy. Stay out there until you work on your attitude. So as you guys heard, Cito tried to cross the lines with me. You guys heard his. A little parenting tip. Just dealing with Cito when she's like that. I understand there are reasons that she's hissing. But you know what? I have to control that, right? You know, because the Google article said that can get out of hand, and where they're like on YouTube, they're actually gonna try to bite you, and right, even though you're not the issue, and Cito's knows she could do that, right? But you know, there is a line to it. And many occasions, I don't know if I have photos. I might have it on my Tumblr app. There are many occasions where, right, she has challenged me. like long time ago. She would challenge me, and let's just say she didn't win. I don't know if I can look at my Tumblr. I love the Tumblr, you guys, as far as social, because I found out about them, just another social app to get away from Facebook. I really love Tumblr. I've never had any issues on Tumblr, but I'm trying to see if there's pictures of the Cito's when she was a baby, and how essentially she was not able to get away with doing whatever she wants with me. Let's see if I can find her photo. It would have to be at the very bottom of my Tumblr. And I've taken, here she is, this monkey. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. I gotta download it. I've taken photos where she was like trying to push the button with me. And let's just say she did not win. Push comes to shove, Cito's not going to win. This is Cito's when I got her. This is Cito's all in my arms. That's the guy who gave me her. Yeah. Cito's, like a lot of people, and I'll say again and again, she can challenge me, but she knows she's not going to win. Let's just put it that way. I'm trying to pull up cute pictures of her where me and her are like fighting with each other. Isn't that a beautiful picture, me and Besitas? I'm trying to pull up a picture where she was trying to challenge me. Look at this girl. Look at this girl. Isn't she cute? Besitas knows she can hiss at me, but she knows back of her mind, she better be careful. Look at this girl. I take so many pictures of her, I forget, and then when I look back, it's just so, touches my heart. I'm trying to find photos of where she was trying to wrestle with me. I'll show you how much she's not going to win. Look at this photo. That's her when I just got her at my house. She's not going to win. Besito thinks she's going to win. Like a lot of people, how it starts when people want to fight me. Here's another one of my baby. Look at her. Look at her. Is she not the cutest thing? Look at this one. Look at this one. This one's adorable. I was just going to interject. They say when your dog has diarrhea, do not give him treats. Do not give him any delectables or anything like that. Just basic diet, and if you have to fast, then so be it. Be very strict. And hey, look at this. I will stop here because I don't want to keep you guys up all night. With God, all things are possible. Same message. Just guess what? We have the same God. And his message is the same. And it's a special message. Right? All things are possible. Throughout this whole coronavirus pandemic, have they ever presented that turning to God is a solution? And essentially that's why all this bad thing's happening. So I don't know if you guys ever seen the cross that I made. And I did make it on the Facebook platform, but I made it on my screen up close. It's really quite beautiful. Can you guys see that?